Nobody puts Spacey in the corner. Like, oh my gosh, that's good. That was a good one. Oh yes, yes. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. We are here on Tuesdays talking about relationships and communication, because we know that when we do, we are creating better communities, better friendships, better families, and better businesses. And today we have a very special guest. We have Maxwell, and he's going to talk about the one thing that will get you to your next level. So I'm going to turn it over to Tara to reintroduce Maxwell. He's been here before.
He has.
And hear what he has to say.
It's been a while. We are so excited though. Maxwell is wildly inspiring to me because he has known what he's wanted to do since he was truly a little kid. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a ballerina. But Maxwell wanted to make movies. And that is exactly what Maxwell is doing. I mean, he's kept his eye on the prize. So let me tell you a little bit about Maxwell Bentley and his company, and then we're going to get into a really juicy conversation. So Maxwell Bentley is the founder of Bentley Media. It's a video production studio that I love what I'm about to say that specializes in hero videos. Yes, that's right at the heart of me. So all about the stories. He is the author of a new book, which I have read and is fantastic, full of so much great information. It's called Video Marketing Secrets. Yep, there it is. Very cool. He has worked on campaigns with Disney, Hyundai. I even own one now. I can't say it. And Xbox. And some of these opportunities came from a story that he is going to tell you of how he really kind of got his start. He's been featured in Forbes, NPR, and Atlanta's WSB-TV. He's also been honored as University of North Georgia's top 20 under 40. He's younger than all my children, and he is wildly successful. I just can't even imagine where his career is going to go from here. So we are so happy to have you here, Maxwell, and share some of your success. Welcome to the Daily Huddle.
Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here and just talk about everything that I love and just help people tell stories and show up on video.
Yeah, one thing that I've known you, I think maybe 3 or 4 years, and one thing that you, I think, model so beautifully is you just give away your knowledge. I mean, a lot of folks are afraid to do that. They kind of hold it close to their chest. They're like, if I give away too much knowledge, then people won't hire me. You just freely just like share gold all the time. So I want to thank you for that. But let's go back before we get into your career and how we're going to help our Daily Huddle family. Let's go back and I want you to start, if you would, by telling the story. In 2007, how old were you?
13.
13.
Oh
Tell
gosh.
us the story. What happened when you were 13 that maybe still motivates you to some point today?
So at 13 years old, I had a case of pneumonia and I was sitting on my laptop figuring out what to do. And I discovered a video game platform called Roblox. And anybody watching who maybe has kids or people who have kids, Catherine's raising her hand.
Yep.
They're all playing Roblox. And
Yep.
so it's a platform where you can sign up and create your own games in 3D space and then share them with kids all over the world. And they can all play on it together, which was really cool. This was back before they were a multi-billion-dollar company, mind you. And I had a digital camera and I started creating videos about Roblox and sharing them on YouTube. And what I was doing, I was taking characters that I was creating in the game and bringing them into the real world. If you've ever seen the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where they take animated characters and like Looney Tunes and bring them into the real world, it's kind of like that, except a lot more simplified. What I was doing was very, very basic. And this was on a platform called now YouTube. And this was very new platform at the time. It was a lot easier to go viral because there were less people. And I started creating and uploading videos that were starting to take off and go viral. I ended up growing the channel to 30,000 subscribers, and I had one video get 2.5 million views online. And that
Wow.
actually that caught the attention of Roblox. They started to look at my content, and one day I got an email from them that said, "Hey, we see what you're doing. We want you to create content for us."
Wow.
And at 17, I thought that was the coolest gig in the entire universe.
Right?
And I was about ready to retire. They were paying me $200 per video. And I was like, yeah, this is great. And that was getting to work with them and create content for their YouTube channel, and also starting off making YouTube videos and then eventually making some of their corporate branding videos, some of their internal videos was a lot of fun. And it really set a foundation for everything that I do today. And eventually, they asked me to edit a trailer for their iPhone app, their brand new iPhone app. And as soon as we finished that, they put the trailer live, and it was a blockbuster success with over 100 million views
Oh my gosh.
online in its lifetime across social media, all organic, all that at least we can track.
Mm.
And as soon as that happened, that was my first real case study. And
Okay.
as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, there's something here that I need to lean into. I want to make this available to more people. And so I started my agency, Bentley Media, shortly after that. And I've been at it for 10 years now.
Mm.
Wow. I just have to say, my 11-year-old watches the likes of you or whoever's doing it nowadays all the time.
Yeah.
Because they do the same thing of like bringing, I guess, I don't know if you started that trend, but it is incredible to think that you just had that idea and brought it into the world.
Yeah. There weren't a whole lot of people making Roblox YouTube videos at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
And this was really before live streaming
Right.
or like Twitch or like
Hmm.
gaming. Everything I was doing was more of a narrative style. And every now and then I still get comments. Like I see comments now like this video was made before I was born. And I'm
Oh my
reading this and I'm like,
gosh.
"Oh wow." And then every now and then somebody who watched my videos 15 years ago, they're like 20 or 30 now, or they're my age now, and they're like, "Wow, this is such a trip down memory lane."
Wow.
And it's wild to think that YouTube has been around that long.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I know you have a ton of questions, but I am really curious how that has influenced your business now, because I imagine, it's evolved and you're doing something different unless you're editing Roblox videos. I don't know, maybe you still are. But how has it influenced what you do now?
So it's definitely been a door opener, and
Okay.
it's definitely something that it's a story and it's a case study that I get to share and I
Hmm.
get to tell. And it's always a conversation starter. A lot of times I'll start conversations with prospects and they'll see Roblox on our website. And oftentimes they have a kid that
Yep.
plays Roblox and they're like, "Hey, tell me about that."
Hmm.
And so even though the scope of work and the nature of the work that I did with Roblox is very different from what I'm doing today, in a sense that the focus was on gaming and the culture around gaming. And what I focus on more now is storytelling and testimonials. That's it was a foundation and it was a baseline. And there was a lot that I learned working with Roblox. There's that saying that you learn before you earn. Like I
Hmm.
wasn't earning a whole lot when I was started working with Roblox. They started 14 bucks an hour, but I mean, at 17, that's still pretty good. But now I get to say, yeah, I've worked with Roblox. We did an iPhone trailer, and that was the kickstart to my portfolio.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. So,
Inspiring.
there's just so many ways we could go with this, but I want to definitely get into what you want to share. But I'm kind of curious before we get into what you're going to share, some of the magic with our listeners. How do you how do you manage your time between marketing yourself in this way that you know how to make your own videos and put, I mean, your marketing is just amazing and it's so authentic and professional at the same time. How do you manage that and then the actual client work?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to be really honest.
Okay.
I struggle with time management. Like, I'm the type of person where I know what's important, but at the same time, there's certain tasks that I just want to do that I get really excited about. Like maybe it's recording a social media video, or maybe it's writing some copy, whatever it is. I tend to do first whatever I'm most excited about. But I have a system for laying out, okay, what is a client project? What is a business project? What's the social media ideas that I have? And right now, truthfully, I'm not creating a whole lot of content on my own. I do share videos every now and then, and I do share content every now and then. I am right now growing my company. I'm building a team, and I am in the weeds right now, getting our processes documented so that we can start scaling. And so I'm not 100% sure if that answers your question, but I have a lot on my plate.
Well, I
And
tell you what it
yeah,
does actually is for me is it validates, I think, a struggle for so many. And just because we maybe don't have that figured out to some kind of amazing discipline, people who are innately creative all struggle with time management. I mean, they go together. And so you are an unbelievable example of, or a believable example of a creative who struggles with that and is still quite successful.
well, I'm
Um,
in the camp that consistency is more important than perfection.
Hmm.
As,
yeah.
as long as I am getting up in the morning, as long as
Stop
I
looking at me,
a little bit of
Kathy.
exercise.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm an internal perfectionist to the nth degree. So let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about what you specialize in. Tell us about these hero videos.
Sure. So over the last 10 years, I've worked on I've produced every type of marketing video for almost every type of business, school, nonprofit, very diverse clientele, very diverse projects. And it took me all this time to figure it out. But there's one specific type of video that makes my clients say, wow. And it gives
Okay.
them chills. And it gives, more importantly, their audience chills, gives me chills, gives our team chills. And we call it a hero video.
Mhm.
And if we take a step back and think about traditional, regular, everyday advertising, everyday marketing, it's very salesy. It's very commercially. Call 1-800 to claim your free da 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 da.
Act
You
Traditional,
did that really
now.
well.
Yeah, he did. Act now.
right? And so that worked when it first came out to a specific type of audience. But now in 2024, we're being inundated with content. We are living in a time where consumer trust is at an all-time low. In
Okay.
fact, the younger the consumer, the less they trust the brands that
I've
they do
read
business
this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
with. Especially if you take the average person, the average consumer in America only trusts about 60% of the brands they do business with.
Wow.
And if it's a Gen Z consumer, it's even lower. It's 23%.
Wow.
And I'm technically on the older end of Gen Z, and my fiance is on the younger end of Gen Z. And I asked her, like, how many companies, when you're out doing business and you're selecting products and services, how many of these brands do you trust? And she was like, I don't trust any of them.
Yep.
So for people who bring ethical value and service, and they're not, trying to, there's no fakery or puffery in what they're doing. Getting your message in front of your ideal customers, especially now that we're being inundated with content on it daily, is challenging. So we have to find a way to disrupt the pattern and stand out online so that we can attract the people who need to hear our message. And so what I figured out is that a couple of things. One, when a company makes a statement, we have the best widgets and gadgets. We're award winning. We have a 100,000 square foot studio. All of those will be forever seen as claims. But if somebody else who is not normally associated with the company shares about their experience with that company, suddenly that is perceived as a fact. And so leaning into that ideology, we've developed what we call a hero video. It's where we take the most powerful testimonials and client success stories that a company has, develop that into a 60-second video where we see the customer, we hear their real voice, and we do everything we can to make it as authentic and as real as possible. So the moment that somebody watches this, A, they're not going to feel like they're being marketed to because it's not going to feel like marketing. And B, they're going to get chills and whisper, wow. And that is what I offer to my clients.
So cool. So cool. You know what this is making me think about, which makes me really excited. I talk about this sometimes in storytelling workshops, is I think what you just did is flip the equation from leading with data. Like, let's just say the story was about Catherine and her experience with your company. Rather than saying, I have 2,500 customers who say their experience was excellent, you tell the story of Catherine, and then the brain goes to, there must be hundreds of Catherines, right? It's just one person, one experience, but then the brain says there has to be more, and I could be like Catherine.
Right. You
Yeah.
brought up, I love what you just said there. So the idea is for your dream customers to see themselves in your marketing materials. They have to identify with the vulnerability, with the raw emotion. And it takes a certain type of strategy, a certain type of video producer to be able to create an environment where they are on camera, they've got a bright light in their face, they've got a microphone, they've got all this unfamiliar, because that can be stressful. Most people are not in situations like that. So we have to take a step back and create a comfortable zone. And another thing I do is I don't use the word interview ever, ever. It's the I word. We call it the I word. Because the
Okay.
moment you use interview, and this is for anybody on this call or on the who's listening or watching, whoever wants to do any sort of video, if you are using the word interview, you're going to stress that it's a stressor. Rather, if you say, we're going to have an on-camera conversation, like it's just going to be you and me talking, and there's going to be a light and there's going to be a camera, but ultimately there's no pressure to perform. We're just going to have a conversation. And if you stumble over your words with the magic of editing, no one will ever know.
Oh, I feel more comfortable already. I think that's first of all, is Maxwell not our people talking about vulnerability stories?
Captured on camera.
Yeah. Help us help our listeners. So they want to get started with their own. So I'm going to tell a quick story. I think I've told you this before, but I have a book that's coming out early next year. And so I discovered something called book talk on TikTok. And I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to learn TikTok and I'm going to put out videos. And I did. I spent hours and hours and I put out 7 videos. And that was a long time ago. Nobody go look for it. I'm not doing that anymore. It was so stressful. So help people like me, Maxwell.
Yes. So We got to start from the beginning.
Okay.
When we think about putting ourselves on camera, even if it's a Zoom call, but
Yeah.
we think about putting ourselves on camera for any reason, we're gonna get a little anxious, or maybe a lot anxious, because we haven't evolved quite yet to a point where that comes naturally to us. COVID has helped be more comfortable on Zoom, but still, when we think about recording a video that is gonna go out to all these people that we don't know, a lot of things come up here. So there's a couple of ways, a couple of baby steps we can take to overcome that.
Okay, we're
One,
ready.
we have to understand why that happens. The reason why we we cringe when we see ourselves on video or we hear ourselves on video is because we're not used to it. Now, if you think when you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you're used to seeing yourself, but it's not actually you. It's a mirrored version of you. So, like when I look in the mirror, my spotted eyebrow is on the right side. My razor bumps are on the other side, so it's not how other people see us. It's just how we're showing up in the mirror. So what we have to do is, as much as challenging as this might be, take your phone, record a short video of yourself that without the intention of sharing it with anybody, just for you. Record a short video talking about something that is near and dear to your heart, and then go back and watch that video several times. That is the only way that you can start getting used to seeing and hearing yourself. And here's another quick tip. If you notice, when most people are on Zoom, they're looking down slightly because we're looking at who's on the call. When you're recording videos for social media, you want to adjust those eyes up and look straight into the camera. Same on your phone. You want to look straight into the camera. That takes a little bit of practice, but by making eye contact, you are making a connection with your viewer. Now, let's say, oh, Maxwell, I can probably do the video, but what am I supposed to talk about? How do I start the video? What am I supposed to do? If that's something that's troubling you, try this. Set up your phone and just have a conversation with a colleague or someone in your industry. Just have a really rich conversation that you can record. And when you do that, you don't even have to look into the camera because you're just talking to each other. You can take that long form video, share that on a place like YouTube, and then you can actually edit little segments of that longer video into shorter videos to put on social media on places like Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And so those are a couple of tips for taking those baby steps towards diving into video. But once you start doing that, you'll notice that you'll start building relationships with people who you don't even know them, but they know you because they start watching your content and they start seeing who you are and what you believe in and what you stand for. And by the time they reach out to you, they're predetermined to work with you. They're like, I want to work with Tara because she shared a video about vulnerability in marketing and it was awesome and that aligns with me and I want to work with her. That kind of stuff happens. If you imagine having 1,000 people watching your video, now imagine having 1,000 one-on-ones. Having 1,000 meetings is going to take hours, but
Yeah.
1,000 people watching your one video, you're replicating yourself 1,000 times.
And actually, you're weeding a bunch of those people out because in those 1,000 one-on-ones, what 20% might work with you, 10%, 2%. But in the video that's happening, they're going, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm good. I'm not going. But the one who calls, I love that you're saying the one who actually calls or reaches out is predetermined because they already have that emotional connection. You experience that all the time with your blog by the time people reach out to you.
Yeah, not all the time, but it is. I mean, it's a gym. Yeah, there are people that open it up every single time I write it.
But I mean, when people write into you, you can tell they're connected to you. Like And I wanted to point to what you said. I feel like this is both of us, but like you're talking about desensitizing yourself to the camera because I have that. Like I'm going to do that. I want to start recording about the woodworking and teaching and things like that. And I'm like deathly afraid of it. And so I think what you're talking about in recording that video of yourself is desensitizing ourselves to the stigma of, oh my God, I look terrible. That's what I do anyway. It's funny. Maybe everybody else doesn't know.
No, we all do it.
It's like, I look terrible. I sound terrible. What if they're going to think this? Oh my gosh, I don't look real. La, 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 la. But you're just talking about watching it over and over and over again. So you desensitize to it. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
And go ahead.
You also said something about you can record this video and then edit it. You have to download it and get some special software, right?
Yes. So that involves, there's a few different AI, the name escapes me right now, but there is an AI tool that allows you to upload a long form video. Oh, I see a chat. Michelle, there it is. It's called there's one, CapCut, and there's others too. But it uses AI to automatically slice up your video into little bitty pieces.
Oh, interesting.
I'm dead. AI to the rescue.
Oh, gosh, that's amazing.
Actually, it's called Opus, OPUS.
That's what Michelle just put that one over there too.
Okay.
Opus Pro.
Well, because that's brilliant too, because all you're doing is you're doing one video and then you're taking the snippet so that you can use it in multiple places. You and I've talked about that multiple times.
So I don't want to run out of time or people jump off without you sharing what you're offering, because people might want to jump into some of your courses. So can you share that? And then if there's questions, we're all about it. But yeah, tell us what you're offering.
Absolutely. So there are 3 ways you can work with me. One is you can grab a copy of my book. This is designed for entrepreneurs who want to dive into video. These reveals 15 secrets about video marketing, along with detailed key strategies and case studies for who the strategies have worked for. I also
The entertaining go-to guide, y'all. I mean, that's how I see it. So anyway, go ahead.
Thank you, Tara. You can also attend one of my upcoming master classes. I have classes in video marketing one-on-one, and I also have an on-camera boot camp. If you want to go straight in and come into the studio and just desensitize being on camera, we can do that. And also, for those of you who want to take an elevator straight to the top and talk about being a private client, I'd be happy to talk with you too. You can do all of those things at workwithmaxwell.com.
Oh, thank you. Okay, let me list them off. I love to take the elevator straight to the top and just let Maxwell do it all for you. But the other 2 are a boot camp and a master class, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think everybody probably can take their video marketing acumen, or lack thereof in my case, to the next level. So this is golden.
And we just put a link to the book in the chat, and also your website, workwithmaxwell.com. So please go and check it out.
Yeah.
I can't believe 30 minutes has passed.
I know. If we have any pressing question, then I think we'll have to close this out. And I want to hear if you have any did we miss anything, Maxwell, that you wanted to share? I mean, I know you just barely dusted the surface of how to get going with video marketing.
No, I thought this was extremely thoughtful, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on and just have a conversation with your viewers.
Thank you. I love how you break it down so simply, because like I'm not that great at all this, but you've made it so clear and so simple with a couple of baby steps that like I can do that. And then I love that. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. We do thank you. Give us the answer to what was the question of the day? What is the one thing you can do to take yourself to the next level? What is the answer to this question?
Get your phone out.
Uh-oh.
Record that 30-second video of yourself and watch it. Just if you don't do anything else, you got to take that first step. Taking that first step is better. Some action is better than no action.
Love that.
So perfect. You're right. Just take that step. Just put your foot in the water.
Yes.
Thank you. We are delighted to have had you here today. And I will close us out, and I'll start with our tenets. And wow, do you not give everything that you give with a spirit of love? So continue to lead with love. I love how you love the universe, all types of people. And the other thing that you do so beautifully, which is one of our tenets, is to give. how generous you are with all your wisdom and knowledge. So y'all continue to give of your knowledge. I know it will come back to you. Thank you for modeling that, Maxwell. And have we had some laughs today? Yes, we have. So remember to laugh, throw your head back, get those endorphins going, and make sure you stress less, eat more plants, get your rest, move your body. And I'm going to add one today. Spend time with good friends.
Yes.
Thank y'all for coming on the Daily Huddle. And thank you, Maxwell.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Maxwell. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Restrictions
Excellent
here, just as
job.
long as you pay
Bye.
attention to them. I know a lot of folks